Cubs fans, in case you missed it, Tom Ricketts wrote a letter to all Cubs fans on October 11th. And if you don't get these emails like I do, I wanted to make sure to read it to you first. And then what we're going to do is review it and kind of talk about what our thoughts are, reading between some of the lines. And I want to hear what your thoughts are too. Let me know in the comments. All right, here we go. Cubs fans, there is no way to sugarcoat it. This is not where we plan to finish this season. Like our fans, we had high expectations for our team this year, and early victories delivered hope for the postseason baseball, but inconsistent play and injuries upended that promise, leading us to a hole too deep to recover from despite another second half surge. Bottom line, we did not play a complete season of competitive baseball. As a result, we have again missed the most exciting and exhilarating month of the season, October. The work is underway to close the gap to make the Cubs a perennial playoff team. Our baseball operations staff is redoubling its efforts. By the way, I had to look up redoubling. I had not heard that one before. If you don't know as well, redoubling means to make or become much greater or much more intense. So there you go, redoubling. Our baseball operations staff is redoubling its efforts to build a team that consistently plays in the postseason and delivers the promise of sustained success for Cubs fans. Though we fell short this season, we have strong foundations to build on. Jed Carter and our team of coaches, analysts, scouts, and strategists have created one of the top player development groups in the game today with 8 prospects on MLB Pipeline's top 100 list, the most of any team in Major League Baseball. After the summer's draft, the Cubs boast a top-flight player team development system in most independent rankings, including number 2 in USA Today's latest evaluation. Under the leadership of manager Craig Counsell, we continue to see players develop on the Major League level. Rookie pitcher sensation Shota Imanaga, who signed as a free agent last offseason, had one of the best seasons as a rookie in Cubs history as a pitcher, leading the team with 15 wins, a 2.91 ERA, 174 strikeouts, and only 28 walks. He steered the way on a memorable September night at Wrigley Field where he had 7 hitless innings, kicked off a combined no-hitter that was closed out by Nate Pearson and Porter Hodge. Rookie Michael Busch secured a starting role at first base and slugged 21 home runs and a 775 OPS. Fellow rookie Pete Crow Armstrong brought excitement to the base paths with 6 triples and a 93% stolen base rate. PCA also kept runs off the board with his electrifying defense. Additionally, veteran Ian Happ had a career year with the personal best in home runs, 25, and RBIs, 86, and continues to be a clubhouse leader. Before we turn the page on this season, I also want to thank you for helping us recognize Ryan Sandberg this last year. For many of us, Rhino's play defined an era, and his statue unveiling was a once-in-a-lifetime tribute to a true Cubs legend. Ryan and Margaret are forever a part of our Cubs family, and it was important for us to stand in support of his fight against cancer by hosting Cubs for a Cure this year, which helped raise $1 million to battle this terrible disease. We also remain committed to making a positive impact in the community through Cubs charities. This year, more than 17,000 students participated in our youth, sports, and academic programs in neighborhoods across Chicago. It is these special moments and activities on and off the field that bring the players and fans together to remind us of what we all love about Cubs baseball. It is more than just a game. It is a tradition that spans decades with our fans at its heart and soul. You bring excitement to the ballpark that is as time-honored as the ivy-lined walls and historic scoreboard. I want to personally express my sincere gratitude for your continued loyalty for our team. Now it's time for us to get back to work and bring championship caliber baseball back to Wrigley Field. Sincerely, Tom Ricketts. All right, so let's talk about this. My first initial thoughts are this felt kind of like a letter that he felt he had to do, not that he wanted to do, which as the owner of the team, I don't even necessarily expect a letter from the owner of the team. I expect some communication from your president of operations, Jed Hoyer. I expect maybe some communication from your general manager, Carter Hawkins. I don't always expect something from an owner. So that is one thing that's nice about Tom Ricketts, is that he takes the time to do that. But I mean, he did kind of sugarcoat it. He starts it off with, there's no way to sugarcoat it. This whole thing was kind of sugarcoated, in my opinion. It was, hey, we fell short of expectations. By the way, here's some really great things that Jed has done that all of us already know about. We know we have a top farm system in baseball. We know there's 8 on the top 100 list. We know the kind of season that Shota have. We know the kind of season about the kind of season that Michael Bush and PCA had. I don't need you to give me stats. I don't need to know that Shota had 174 strikeouts and only 28 walks. I don't need you to retell me what happened on that one September night and when the Cubs threw a combined no-hitter. I know about all that stuff. Those aren't really the things I want to hear from an owner. The things I want to hear from the owner is, just like in 23, you said, hey, Jed, you've got an open checkbook. Is that the kind of year that Jed is going to have? I would like to know, is there going to be the opportunity to surpass the tax luxury threshold? Is there going to be an opportunity that we're going to go after a big name? I think it's also nice, but also a little deflecting that he mentions Ryan Sandberg, the Cubs charities. Those are all important things, but again, a letter to Cubs fans at the end of the year, I don't know that those things are necessary to put in there. I think the biggest thing is, what is this team going to do in the offseason? What are you going to communicate to Jed? What are you communicating to the Cubs fans? And currently, in reading between the lines with this, you start this whole thing with, we're going to bring Chicago back to October baseball, and you end it with that as well. But everything in between is really just a recap of what happened in 2024 and the things that were accomplished and the foundations that were built. If you're going to start something with, we're going to bring October baseball back to Chicago, then I want to hear the rest of that letter supporting how we're going to do that. And those are the things that I'm missing in this. And it's just a direct reflection currently of this organization that I think they're in a comfortable spot, knowing that we got the championship that we needed in 2016. We checked that off the bucket list, and now it's just about providing a good experience for fans. So we're going to give you an 83 win team, and at least we're not the White Sox across town. And so be happy with that. Look at all the great players we have. Look at all the great things that we're doing in the community, but also don't expect us to go after the Juan Sotos, to, go after the big time Japanese pitcher Sasaki this offseason. It's like, those are the things that I would have loved to hear in this, is like, we're going to make a splash. We're going to pull out the checkbook. We're going to, if things are going to change, here's where things need to change. But I think this organization is in a really comfortable spot and doesn't have any sense of urgency to change things. I don't think that we're going to see a different approach with the bullpen. I don't think that we're going to see them go and spend $500 million on Juan Soto. I don't think that they're going to go and make all of these high risk, high reward changes in terms of either trades or signings. I think it's just going to be a lot of this still like mid, stay okay. Maybe these guys will have breakout seasons and that'll bring us to the playoffs. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going to change unless Jed comes out and actually says like, hey, something has to change. And I haven't heard that from any of the front office at all. So it's disappointing, that this letter to me, just overall, like in terms of an effort given. Tom, I'm giving you a D for effort, because there was nothing besides just a recap of 2024 of things that we already knew about. And congratulations on Cubs charity. That's great about the 17,000 students. That was the only news that I didn't know about this. And so that's cool. But what are we going to do going into 2025? What do you guys think of the letter? Let me know in the comments. And here's to the start of what is going to be kind of, to me, a confusing offseason. What do you think?